my system was hacked, I was pranked. It was a fairly common one. People make fun of my name all the time. When you name Wiener, you kind of get that.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're looking at the most shocking times celebrities ruined their careers or reputations after making social media posts that caused a scandal to erupt.
Almost no one thought it was funny. Within hours, ABC pulled the plug on the show, saying Roseanne's Twitter statement is abhorrent.
Number 30, Carla Sophia Gasone.
Hacer este tipo de personajes que están más alejados de mí, cualquier actor o actriz, es mucho más interesante entrar en ellos, es mucho más divertido, mucho más fácil dejarte llevar.
As the lead in the multi-Oscar-winning film Emilia Perez, Gasone was breaking down barriers as an actor and trans woman. However, in the run-up to the 2025 Academy Awards, her historic and problematic social media history came to light.
I try to do the best in my work.
Yes.
And it's for the life of actors are really hard.
Gasone, using bigoted language, had seemingly criticized Islam, the Black Lives Matter movement, International Women's Day, and several more groups and people. Amid backlash, she stepped away from promoting Emilia Perez and apologized for her words. However, once the Oscars finished, Gasone took a vastly different approach. In interviews, she claimed she was a victim of cancel culture and that she was less racist than Mahatma Gandhi.
Okay. Si tú eres feliz, yo soy feliz.
Number 29, Hartley Sawyer.
When you get all of us, the team Flash, the group in the room, it's usually just laughter all day. I know that sounds like the thing that I should say, but it's true.
In 2017, after years in the industry, Sawyer finally got his big break when he was cast in the CW's TV show The Flash as Ralph Dibny, aka the Elongated Man. His work left quite the impression, leading him to get promoted to a main character of the series.
I'm back. I look like a Hemsworth.
However, in 2020, Sawyer's Twitter past was discovered. From 2009 to 2014, the actor seemingly made several posts and comments filled with misogyny and racist language. While Sawyer issued an apology, using the excuse of humor for his posts, the Flash bosses weren't too happy, so they fired him. It even led star Grant Gustin to criticize his colleague's social media history. To date, Sawyer hasn't been in a screen production since.
Think I'm gonna heal?
Eventually.
Probably? Well, you know, I thought I was indestructible.
Number 28, Shila Iqbal.
I was shocked. I was shocked to see that I'd wrote those words.
Do you remember sending those tweets?
I do now, thinking, obviously looking at them, but I didn't think that was me because I don't use those words anymore.
In 2018, Iqbal debuted in the beloved UK soap opera Emmerdale as Aisha Richards. For nearly a year, all was good for her, leading to her getting a permanent role on the show.
I didn't know about Mum having all that debt. I should try and keep it a secret. I wish she'd told me.
However, a month after that confirmation, her past social media presence was unearthed in 2019. When she was a teenager at college, Iqbal posted homophobic insults and racist slurs on X, formerly Twitter. The outrage over the comments caused Emmerdale higher-ups to not renew Iqbal's contract, and she was let go. After apologizing for the comments and deleting her X account, Iqbal spoke out against her firing, stating it was harsh due to her age when she made the controversial posts.
I've just got 50 likes in 20 minutes.
Sorry?
Oh, just a selfie I did. Dog ears filter. Do you want to see?
Number 27, Dani Mathers.
So you went from being the Playmate of the Year to no longer being with the company because of this.
Yeah. It's been very hard, financially, mentally. I worked very hard to get to that point.
Crowned as Playmate of the Year in 2015 and a model for Playboy, the modeling world should have been at Mathers' fingertips, but in 2016, she threw that potential away. Through her Snapchat, Mathers released an image of a nude woman in a gym changing room, complete with a mocking caption and a photo of herself in disbelief.
When we go into a health club and we disrobe as this 70-year-old woman did, we obviously have no expectation that no one will see us naked.
Mathers apologized and stated she was meant to send it to a friend, not as a public message, as though that made it better. The backlash to the body shaming was massive. It got worse when Mathers was charged with invasion of privacy. In 2017, after changing her plea from not guilty to no contest, she was sentenced to 3 years probation and 30 hours of community work.
She also regrets ever taking the picture.
It was so wrong. It was, I know the difference between right and wrong, and I chose wrong.
Number 26, James Arthur.
I'm really nervous. Yeah, I'm pretty nervous, yeah.
In 2012, Arthur's music career took off as he won the UK talent show The X Factor. Yet shortly after releasing his debut album, his ex comments wrecked his rise. After the discovery of homophobic lyrics in a song, Arthur got into an argument with rapper Mickey Worthless, resulting in the singer releasing a diss track with another slur.
Sticky with me, you probably wanna put your stinky in me.
As several celebrities stood up to Arthur, such as Lucy Spraggan and Frankie Boyle, he responded by arguing with them on X. The backlash and regularly making it worse for himself made Arthur hand over control of his account to his management. In 2014, he was dropped by Psycho. Since then, after brief success, Arthur has struggled to live up to his potential in the charts. Number 25, Gina Carano.
My agency dropped me the same day, and my entertainment lawyer dropped me. I had nobody to defend me. I was alone.
After her 7-match unbeaten record in MMA ended in 2009 at the hands of Chris Cyborg, Carano transitioned into an acting career. After success with Fast and Furious 6 and Deadpool, she was cast as Cara Dune in The Mandalorian. However, Carano's social media posts, which leaned into right-wing conspiracy theories, were her downfall. After criticizing mask mandates during the COVID-19 pandemic, trans rights, and comparing people with conservative beliefs to atrocities committed during World War II, she was fired from Disney and dropped by her talent agency. After struggling for mainstream acting work, Carano, with Elon Musk's help, issued a lawsuit against Disney for wrongful dismissal. The trial date was slated for 2025.
I'm not sorry for what I said, for what I posted, for what I was standing for, what I was screaming for, or trying to scream for. I'm not sorry. Sorry.
Number 24, Lea Michele.
It's funny how some things I remember so clearly, and then other things I have no memory of whatsoever. But right. I think that that has to do with when things were really intense, or when, it was a little bit of a not so intense time on the show.
It's rare for a positive social media post to snowball into tanking a celebrity's career. Yet that's what happened to Michele. In 2020, she issued support for Black Lives Matter. This caused fellow Glee actor Samantha Marie Ware to accuse Michele of microaggressions against her. Several other former colleagues then stood up for Ware by accusing Michele of rude behavior and hostility to others on set.
Co-star Amber Riley had this to say during an Instagram Live interview.
I think that everybody needs to kind of chill. Y'all dragged her for a couple of days.
While she apologized, HelloFresh condemned racism as it dropped Michele as a partner. The fallout of the drama seemingly made it difficult for Michele to find screen work. She self-released the album Forever, which didn't gain much traction in 2021. So in 2022, Michele went back to Broadway.
There's no victory in this for me either way.
Who cares about you, buddy? I'm gonna get a new boyfriend out of this who can keep up with me vocally and in the future give me vaguely Eurasian-looking children.
Number 23, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
As a Hollywood power couple, Kunis and Kutcher were well respected, even more so due to the duo working with anti-child abuse foundation Thorn, which Kutcher co-founded. However, when former That 70s Show colleague Dani Masterson was found guilty of assault, it soon emerged Kunis and Kutcher had sent a letter to the judge asking for leniency in sentencing.
Their enthusiastic support
For convicted rapist Dani Masterson, their co-star and friend, has caused such a furor, even they wish they could turn off the spotlight.
After the backlash, with many pointing out the hypocrisy of promoting Thorne and supporting a convicted abuser, the couple released a video online to defend themselves. And boy, it backfired massively. On top of the duo mentioning the letter wasn't meant to be public, the apology came across as insincere to many viewers. This additional backlash forced Kutcher and Kunis to resign from Thorne.
So bye-bye, Mr. Stephen Hyde. I'm a hottie and you're naughty, Jackie's gonna be mine.
Number 22, PewDiePie.
I knew people would be offended, and I knew people wouldn't like it, but I also knew people would see the joke in it and would find it funny. And honestly, the comments when the video came out were like, this is the funniest video I've ever seen.
At one point, no YouTuber was more famous than Felix Jelberg, aka PewDiePie. Mostly focused on Let's Plays, he took the platform by storm, raking in millions of views. However, Jelberg then began pushing his content too far. In 2017, he uploaded a video that featured paid workers on Fiverr holding up an anti-Semitic sign.
Subscribe to Keemstar.
The backlash was severe. Not only were fans angry, but so were companies that worked with Jelberg. Disney, which has partnered with him at Maker Studios, dropped the streamer from their network. Google also cut him from the Google Preferred Advertising program as YouTube canceled his YouTube Red series. This, followed by uttering a racial slur on stream months later, meant Jelberg hasn't had mainstream success since.
That has been Fiverr. What an experience. Wow. I didn't expect that.
Number 21, Kanye West.
I don't think that's anti-Semitism. I just think that's, hey, this is another thing. Like, okay, the Kardashians, when you hear that, do you think male or do you think female?
After years of anti-Semitic remarks, West really stepped it up a horrifying notch in 2022 on his social media accounts. As well as issuing a death threat to Jewish people, the rapper also claimed he couldn't be anti-Semitic as Black people are also Jewish. Right. In response, X and Instagram locked West's accounts. As West continued uttering anti-Semitic statements to get attention, several companies cut ties with him, including Adidas and Gap, which worked with his fashion brand Yeezy. This mass exodus of business saw West lose his billionaire status. Even other musicians, such as Ozzy Osbourne, refused West's request to sample their music. The rapper then began legal proceedings against Adidas. In 2024, the two parties agreed to end legal pursuits without exchanging money.
Adidas saying in part today it, quote, does not tolerate anti-Semitism and any other sort of hate speech. Ye's recent comments and actions have been unacceptable, hateful, and dangerous, and they violate the company's values.
Number 20, J.K. Rowling. Throughout the years, the British author behind the best-selling book series in history hasn't shied away from making her views on various topics known. In June 2020, J.K. Rowling got fans, critics, activists, and celebrities talking again when she appeared to take issue with a website's reference to people who menstruate. Her Twitter comment and a follow-up statement had many people labeling her transphobic. Though she claimed that she meant no harm, Rowling's status as the writer behind such a beloved property means that her opinions will continue to be under scrutiny. While her legacy certainly hasn't been without controversy, she definitely didn't make things any better for herself this time around. Number 19, Vanessa Hudgens. Vanessa Hudgens acquired national fame after playing Gabriella Montez in the High School Musical series. Since then, she's appeared in numerous musicals, including the live Fox productions of Grease and Rent, and has launched into more mature roles by acting in Powerless and Bad Boys for Life. But much of that came crumbling down in March 2020.
People are gonna die. It's just terrible, but like, inevitable?
Hudgens may have been one of the first celebrities to publicly trivialize the pandemic, stating death as inevitable in a video posted online.
It's a crazy, crazy time, and I am at home and in lockdown, and that's what I hope you guys are doing too. In full quarantine, and staying safe and sane. Yeah, I don't take this situation lightly, by any means.
In another post, she wished her followers a happy St. Patrick's Day and subtly criticized the worldwide lockdown, saying with a sly giggle, quote, I wish I were in a pub, but we're not. So we're not all in this together then? Hudgens later apologized for dismissing the severity of the coronavirus disease. Number 18, Myka Stauffer. Stauffer is a lifestyle YouTube vlogger who posts videos about her family, cooking, decluttering, home organization, all of that fun stuff.
This is something I do every morning. I will make sure the girls' beds are made, I'll make sure the boys' beds are made.
In May 2020, her most popular video was an update on our family, which reached over 5 million views in 2 weeks. In this now removed video, Stauffer and her husband James explained that they had rehomed their adopted Chinese son, who Stauffer claims to be profoundly developmentally delayed.
Have been allowing for Huxley to spend time with some different people to see and to make the perfect match and fit for his now new forever family.
According to them, they were never notified of the extent of the child's developmental disorder. The family had documented the entire adoption process throughout 2017, leading many viewers to declare that the Stauffer family had exploited the child for popularity and views. Others saw it as the family giving up on a human being and giving him away like a problematic dog. Number 17, Hannah Brown. Hannah Brown has enjoyed a prosperous life, winning Miss Alabama USA 2018, competing in season 23 of The Bachelor, leading season 15 of The Bachelorette, and winning Dancing with the Stars in November 2019.
Have you ever seen a real rock star?
However, her blossoming career was placed in jeopardy in May 2020 when she repeatedly uttered the N-word while singing along to DaBaby's Rockstar on Instagram Live.
I don't think that you said that. I don't think, maybe no, there was.
Her comment section was immediately bombarded with irate fans, some of whom announced they would be unfollowing her account.
Wait. Am I not cool enough for you? What's up, bro?
You gotta bleep one single word, though.
This was similar to an incident in May 2018 when a white woman rapped the N-word while on stage with Kendrick Lamar. Number 16, Chrissy Teigen.
You just kind of throw things out there and you don't know that you don't really think about the impact and the person on the other side.
Known for her vocal opposition against what she views as unethical practices, Teigen found herself on the other side of a scandal in 2021 when Courtney Stodden came forward after Teigen announced she was leaving Twitter. Stodden, who's non-binary, released social media posts and DMs that Teigen had sent them that encouraged the reality star to harm themselves in 2011. After her first apology failed to land with Stodden, Teigen released another one where she admitted to online harassment. This sparked more celebrities to publish their own harassment experiences from Teigen, as several other problematic posts came to light. As a result, with her reputation in tatters, several companies cut ties with Teigen and her cooking line, Cravings.
You said something that we can't say. All right.
Number 15, Katie Hopkins. Katie Hopkins is a very contentious English media personality and newspaper columnist. After appearing as a contestant on The Apprentice, Hopkins wrote columns for The Sun and the Daily Mail's Mail Online. Her outspoken opinions have often generated scrutiny and controversy, including the Manchester Arena bombing fiasco. On the morning after the bombing, Hopkins wrote on Twitter that, quote, "We need a final solution," a term that the Nazis used when referencing the Holocaust.
What I meant was we need a lasting solution, a resolution.
She claims to have not meant it in that way, but rather as a lasting solution. Regardless, she was widely condemned by the media and her professional relationship with the talk station LBC was terminated. Following the London Bridge attack a few weeks later, Hopkins advocated for the use of internment camps. Number 14, Iggy Azalea. During the height of her fancy fame, Iggy Azalea came under attack for past tweets that many found to be both racist and homophobic. The offensive and hurtful tweets did some irreparable damage to her career and reputation. She dropped out of a gay pride event in Pittsburgh and canceled her Great Escape tour. Of course, the latter was officially canceled due to Iggy needing a break, but most thought it was a combination of the Twitter backlash and poor ticket sales. Iggy's second studio album, released in July 2019, only reached number 52 in her native Australia. Number 13, Perez Hilton. Hilton is certainly a controversial figure, but he crossed a line in June of 2010 when his personal Twitter account supposedly linked to an upskirt photo of Miley Cyrus. While the pic was quickly taken down, witnesses claim that it showed the 17-year-old Cyrus climbing out of a car without any underwear. Hilton faced immediate backlash, and many people questioned if he would be brought up on charges. According to criminal defense attorney Jeffrey Douglas, quote, "All you have to do is knowingly distribute the photograph." Hilton later defended himself, claiming that Cyrus was wearing underwear and that the controversy was fake. No matter, the damage to Hilton's reputation had been done.
You know, there's gonna be a million concerts and tours and movies, but I only get one chance to go to college with my best friend.
Number 12, Jason Biggs. In the early 2010s, Jason Biggs made a bit of a post-American Pie comeback with roles in Orange is the New Black and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. However, a series of offensive tweets got him fired from the latter after Nickelodeon featured his Twitter feed. Lo and behold, during the 2012 Republican National Convention, Biggs made an explicit tweet about Paul Ryan's wife. Both Biggs and Nickelodeon were targeted by parental groups, and Nickelodeon reportedly told Biggs to knock it off.
I heard that you got a little bit of grief because of the
He's
Bachelorette.
always getting in trouble.
I'm always getting in trouble.
Always in
What
trouble.
is it today?
Yeah.
He didn't listen and continued tweeting offensive things, which included digs at Malaysian Airlines and dead Bachelorette contestant Eric Hill. The continued controversy was too much for Nickelodeon, and they fired Biggs in 2014. Number 11, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's prime is certainly behind him, but it's never too late for a career resurgence. Hogan was attempting just that via his fourth return to the WWE in 2014. However, he received intense media scrutiny following the publication of a leaked sex tape. On the tape, Hogan can be reportedly heard calling himself racist to a point and repeatedly using the N-word and homophobic slurs.
Do you have any personal preference who ethnically your daughter dates?
No, I don't.
Following that, it was like Hogan never existed. The WWE scrubbed him from their records, his merchandise and action figures were pulled from stores, and he was fired from the wrestling reality series Tough Enough. However, he was eventually reinstated into the WWE Hall of Fame, and he made his fifth return to the network in 2018. Number 10, Gilbert Gottfried. This legendary comedian and actor is known primarily for his signature grating voice, which has been used to great effect as Iago in Aladdin and the classic Aflac duck.
Oh boy, he's cracked. He's gone nuts.
Unfortunately, he lost the latter commercial role after tweeting one and then an extended series of very insensitive jokes following the Japanese earthquake and tsunami of 2011. The massive earthquake and resulting tsunami killed nearly 16,000 people and injured a further 6,157. People weren't really in a laughing mood, and seeing as how Aflac does a huge proportion of its business in Japan, Gottfried was quickly and firmly dismissed by the company. So ended a decade-long iconic job and a reputation. Number 9, Azealia Banks. At this point, Azealia Banks is more famous for her social media presence than her music. In March of 2016, her second mixtape, titled Slay Z, was released to the public. Just 2 months later, she found herself in hot water after aiming racist and homophobic tweets at Zayn Malik. This included calling him the ultra-derogatory F-word and a curry-scented. Many called for comeuppance, and Twitter answered by blocking Banks' account. She was also dropped by her UK booking agency. It significantly hurt her relatively young career, but it hasn't stopped her from being provocative. Number 8, Skrillex. Skrillex was the hottest thing in music in the early 2010s, earning 5 Grammy nominations in 2011 alone, and ushering in the brief age of dubstep. But that same year, Skrillex tweeted that he, quote, wished he was allowed to use the N-word sometimes in a non-racist way, of course. The tweet didn't immediately gain traction, but as Skrillex grew more and more popular, so too did the tweet. It was eventually taken down, but not before it was widely propagated throughout the internet. Now, we're not saying this tweet caused Skrillex's downfall, but it certainly didn't help his reputation or his public image, and he certainly hasn't come close to duplicating the popularity he once had. Number 7, Jack Maynard. Popular YouTuber Jack Maynard found himself in a whirlwind of trouble in late 2017. The Sun uncovered offensive tweets that Maynard had made as a teenager, including instances of racist and homophobic language. He was also dropped from, or left depending on the source, the reality series I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, when it was revealed that he asked for a 14-year-old girl for provocative images when he was 17. Maynard claims that he wasn't aware of her age, and the girl called the interaction harmless. Regardless, Maynard faced backlash for the incident, which allegedly included him calling the girl a bore and an ugly freak when she refused. Number 6, Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey is arguably one of the leading figures of dream pop in today's musical landscape. However, she is not without her controversies, and some big ones were unleashed in May 2020. The first came when she was defending her lyrical themes from critics and noting the love for artists like Camila Cabello, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Beyoncé as a double standard in the industry. After being criticized for singling out women of color, Ray was forced to claim that she is definitely not racist. Just a few days later, she again posted to Instagram, but this time it was a video of looters. Del Rey had exposed the looters' identities, and some criticized the act of publishing the violent video through her social media. Number 5. Kevin Spacey. When it comes to actors, few have been so thoroughly and systematically dismantled as Kevin Spacey. His house of cards came crumbling down in October 2017 when Anthony Rapp accused Spacey of making advances on him when he was just 14 years old. The accusation was damaging enough, but just one day later, Spacey released a statement through Twitter in which he infamously used the opportunity to come out as gay. Some saw it as a thinly veiled attempt at deflection, while others thought that his apology was grossly insincere. While it was clearly the accusations themselves that brought him down, the post was still tremendously derided. Spacey's reputation was tarnished, and his career completely cancelled. Now he's seemingly only doing creepy YouTube videos that come out on Christmas Eve. Number 4. CeeLo Green. The Gnarls Barkley crooner was on top of the world in the early 2010s. Forget You was a massive worldwide hit, and he was serving as a judge on the enormously popular singing competition The Voice. And then he tweeted about sexual assault. He was accused of giving a woman ecstasy before sex, raising issues of consent. She claimed to have no memory of the night and resulting events, while CeeLo argued that victims of the violent crime would remember what happened. Needless to say, that specific tweet and its equally bizarre accompaniments caused an enormous amount of controversy, and CeeLo was effectively cancelled, at least for a while. He subsequently made appearances on Lip Sync Battle and The Masked Singer. Number 3. Anthony Weiner. Weiner wasn't an entertainment celebrity in the traditional sense, but he was a well-known public figure who had been in politics for many years.
I am not going to permit myself to be distracted by this issue any longer.
That career came crashing down in the summer of 2011 when Weiner found himself at the center of a highly publicized sexting debacle. On May 27, 2011, he accidentally posted an explicit photograph of himself to his public Twitter account. The photo was obviously meant for a specific person, and Weiner was soon embroiled in a controversy that ended in him resigning from Congress.
It was a hoax. It was someone sending a picture of a wiener on Weiner's account. It's one of the jokes I've been getting since I was 5 years old. This was a gag. This was a joke that someone committed on me to try to distract me.
But it didn't end there. In 2016, it was reported that Weiner had been sexting a 15-year-old girl, a fact that eventually put him in prison for 15 months.
Weiner was hoping to avoid any jail time, looking for probation. His lawyers arguing that he's on his way to recovery and would not receive proper therapy inside prison.
Number 2. Roseanne Barr. Barr probably holds the record for the quickest collapse after a comeback in television history. Roseanne was monumentally popular throughout its run from 1988 to 1997, and it was famously revived in the spring of 2018.
Can I have pie for breakfast?
No, that's contaminated. Go sit down and eat your breakfast now, and don't spill your milk today neither.
The first episode of the revival aired on March 27, 2018, and just over 2 months later to the day, Roseanne made a post about Obama's senior advisor Valerie Jarrett. This incredibly insensitive and racist tweet was widely condemned, and Roseanne was canned the same day. Her career and reputation will never be the same again.
With that single inflammatory tweet, Roseanne's rising star imploded today. Within hours, the highly anticipated return of one of TV's most beloved shows, Roseanne, canceled, and Roseanne Barr effectively banished from Hollywood.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Kathy Griffin. Many people don't like Donald Trump, but many people also thought that Kathy Griffin went too far by holding his mock decapitated head.
I went too far, I made a mistake, and I was wrong.
The apology came just hours after the images went viral. Kathy Griffin holding a bloodied likeness of President Donald Trump's head.
The image is too disturbing. I understand how it offends people.
On May 30th, 2017, Griffin posted a highly controversial photo of her holding a bloody mask meant to represent Trump's severed head. While she claimed it was meant as an edgy, artistic piece, some people interpreted it as an inappropriate threat of violence against Trump.
Pictures and video depicting comedian Kathy Griffin holding the bloody, decapitated head of President Trump are no joking matter for the Secret Service.
Griffin was fired from numerous gigs, including CNN's annual New Year's Eve program. All of her tour dates were canceled, and she was even placed under investigation by the Justice Department. The photo was widely lambasted, and Griffin's reputation was ravaged.
I sincerely apologize. I'm a comic. I crossed the line. I moved the line, then I crossed it. I went way too far.
Are there any other celebrities who ruined their careers or reputations with their social media? Let us know in the comments.
Now, will they seriously put much energy into it? The answer is no. Did Kathy Griffin threaten anybody? No.